That, my son, is a lifetime achievement at the Cunt of the Year Awards.
Why? Why are these movies so successful? Why do people keep going to see these things? I'm a critic. I have to see it because this is my job. But you? After Fallen Kingdom, what in the world made you think this was gonna be any good? You wanted to see the original characters? Well, the movie doesn't waste time in burning off any cool factor they might have had. Goldblum's just going through the motions and Sam Neill looks like he barely even wanted to be there. You wanted to see the dinosaurs? In the entirety of the series, and I mean since the first Jurassic Park movie, the dinosaurs have never meant less than they do here. Hell, the story isn't even about the dinosaurs anymore, which is fucking baffling when the last movie literally ended with the dinosaurs being released out into the world. You would think that at the very least, this movie would almost have to be about that, right? I mean, that's what the trailers made it look like, with the T-Rex at the drive-in, ranchers herding dinosaurs like cattle and all this other wacky shit, but no. No. Some of that isn't even in the movie. And the stuff that is basically means fucking nothing because in their infinite wisdom, the filmmakers decided to not really follow up on that and instead pull this brand new, much stupider plot out of their assholes about some corporate conspiracy bullshit that has nothing to do with dinosaurs at all. What a brilliant, innovative twist for the fucking dinosaur movie franchise, am I right? Jesus Christ. God, there's so much stupid shit in this movie, I don't even know where to start. First of all, you can forget just about everything in the trailers. Raising the specter of John Hammond, life finds a way, humans and dinosaurs can't coexist, blah blah blah, trying to make Dominion feel like it's somehow the epic conclusion of this amazing narrative that was crafted over 6 movies. Forget all that. It means nothing, and it's not what the movie is about whatsoever. And forget telling a story across the whole series, this movie can't even finish the story of the Jurassic World trilogy or follow up on part 2 properly. And yeah, there were a shit ton of idiotic things in Fallen Kingdom, but the one thing it did that had some potential was releasing the dinosaurs. Sure, the reason it happened was asinine. They're alive, like me. Who the cares? They're going to eat people! But there was potential to do some fun things with it. And for the first 5 minutes of the movie, it kinda looks like they might. They get us caught up on what's been happening, the dinosaurs are causing chaos, this is how many people they've killed so far, and so on. This part is okay. They've got their setup, and now you think the rest of the movie will be about actually dealing with this problem. But it isn't. After those first 5 minutes, the dinosaurs being out in the wild just becomes this thing that's happening on the side. Like the dinosaurs are just big pests now. Like instead of gophers eating your garden, you've got to worry about the local triceratops humping your mobile home or something. It's all just background noise, and from there on, the movie just gets stupider and becomes something completely different. So different that it's not even about the dinosaurs at all anymore. It's really about 2 other things. Clone Girl Maisie and locusts. Yeah, there's this big plot about locusts. That's what's driving the narrative now. That's what gets all the characters together, the fucking locusts. And the dinosaurs don't even factor into that. They're just kinda hanging around until the movie needs an action scene. And I don't think there has ever been a time in this franchise when the action scenes meant less than they do right now. There are so many scenes in this movie that exist not for story, but for dinosaur-related action. They just needed dinosaurs on the screen to facilitate some carnage before they get back to the locust plot. You could honestly cut a lot of these scenes out of the movie completely and the story would not be affected in any way. That's really the only reason the dinosaurs are there now. They've never felt less important. And I hate to say it, but that might have been for the best, because these filmmakers don't seem to care about dinosaurs or have any idea how dinosaurs or even animals in general behave. And the best example I can think of about that is how they react to fire. You saw some of this in Fallen Kingdom where there were dinosaurs running toward volcanic lava. Now you'd think they'd be running away from the lava because, you know, it's really hot and it'll kill them. But they have to run towards it because that's where the humans are and the movie needed an action scene. In this one, it gets even stupider. There are multiple scenes in Dominion that feature dinosaurs running toward fire. Dinosaurs trying to eat things that are on fire. Dinosaurs getting lit on fire and then being completely fine afterwards. What the That is is not how animals behave. I don't care if they're fucking dinosaurs. That doesn't mean it's not bullshit. And you know what else is bullshit? The Fallen Kingdom fallout. I think even a paint-sniffing chimp could probably tell you which plots in that movie could be continued and which plots just needed to disappear and never be mentioned again. But turns out that paint-sniffing chimp was hoarding all the brain power for himself because the stuff the filmmakers should have continued they either forgot or didn't care about, and the stuff they needed to drop like a hot potato, they leaned into. So that stupid shit about weaponizing dinosaurs to kill anyone you shoot a laser pointer at? Yeah, that's still a thing, and I cannot believe that in 2 movies they've never bothered to explain why if you can shoot someone with a laser pointer, you couldn't just shoot them with a gun while you were at it. And it's even more insulting this time because now you've got, like, black market people doing this in a sequence that is so tacked on it barely even factors into the plot. It's a thing in the second act for like 20 minutes just to kill time, and then it's never even addressed again. And you know why? Because it's not about the locusts. It's kind of about Clone Girl Maisie, but once the characters get from point A to point B, it's like, okay, we don't need this storyline anymore, so bye. And the entire movie is like that. This is the most disjointed movie I've seen in years. You have no idea how haphazard the plotting is. The first 5 minutes is humans and dinosaurs living together. Oh my god, what have we done? Then the rest of the first act is kind of a kidnapping plot where we check in with Owen, Claire, and Clone Girl Maisie as this surrogate family unit, which isn't great, but at least that's a through line that's been sort of consistent across this trilogy, and really, it's the only thing in it worth caring about by now. Then in the second act, it's like they tried to turn the movie into Mission Impossible for a while. You've got Bryce Dallas Howard trying to jump over rooftops like Tom Cruise, Chris Pratt racing his motorbike through these foreign city streets getting chased by raptors, and then the third act is all about industrial espionage and cloning and this batshit conspiracy to control the world's food supply, and lest we forget the fucking locusts, this story has no idea what it wants to be. This literally feels like 3 different fucking movies, and not even one of them is about dinosaurs. Literally, the first 5 minutes raises the issue of dinosaurs are all over the place. This is a really serious problem. What the hell are we gonna do about it? And then, after 2+ hours of them doing exactly nothing about it, at the end of the movie, everyone's like, well, I guess we'll just live with it then, because it. That's really the movie's attitude about all this. There's this baffling part in the beginning where we see that Owen is keeping Blue the raptor around, just letting her roam free in the forest outside the cabin, even though he acknowledges that Blue would absolutely kill them if they're not really fucking careful. Okay, but if Blue's so dangerous, then why are you letting her roam around free then? Well, he's letting her roam around free and not doing a damn thing to make sure she doesn't eat any innocent people because it. That's their mentality about the dinosaurs now. They're dangerous, but only when we need to put characters in danger. And otherwise, they've got nothing to do with the super important locusts, so it. We don't care. Why would you do that? How brain damaged do you have to be to make dinosaurs the least important, least consequential thing about your fucking dinosaur movie? I really mean that. At every step of the way, the dinosaurs are the least important thing. They show up when the movie needs an action scene or a cool looking set piece or to make the characters run from something. That's it. And they don't even do a good job of that. There wasn't a single moment in the entire film when I genuinely felt like the good guys were in danger or in some kind of trouble they couldn't get out of, which really hurts everything else that's going on here, because without the looming threat of getting eaten by the what-the-fuckasaurus or whatever the hell the new one's name is, it becomes even more obvious how everything else is so lame and so dumb you could tell the filmmakers just didn't give a shit. Getting the legacy cast back together should mean something, but it doesn't. And why? Because it's all wrapped up in the fucking locust plot that's too stupid for words. Any attempts they make to do nods to the original trilogy just feel awkward and careless, and their attempts to continue the development of those characters just feels really clumsy and unearned. I don't know how you could botch that so spectacularly. Just the novelty of seeing Grant, Sattler, and Malcolm together again, if there was even any left to begin begin with should mean something. It should make you feel something. But instead, it feels like you just threw them all in a dumpster, covered them with gasoline, and lit a fucking match. And the legacy cast meeting the new cast should feel really special, but it doesn't. Oh my god, Alan Grant, I read your book. Wow, Owen Grady, I've heard about you. You train raptors. None of this feels meaningful. When they all got together, I was shocked by how much the movie had made me not care about this. And why? Well, these guys are here because of the locusts. These guys are here because of Clone Girl Maisie. None of them are here because of the dinosaurs. But guess what? It's time for an action scene, so now they've all got to run from the fucking dinosaurs the movie is supposed to be about, because that's the only reason the dinosaurs are a thing anymore. Not that that really matters, because the dinosaurs seem to be really bad at killing people now, which means you've got a lot of returning characters and a number of new characters on top of that, making the cast obviously too big for the movie to handle, and yet for some reason the movie seems afraid of killing any of them off, so this problem never gets resolved. If you're a good guy, you've got plot armor that's so tough even the T-Rex's teeth can't penetrate it. Never at any point do they take the kid gloves off, which not only removes any sense of dread and suspense the movie might have had, it just makes the entire plot feel weirdly boring, which is just about the worst thing a big budget blockbuster can be. This movie was so easy to not screw up. Dinosaurs are out in the world. How does the world deal with it? That's all it had to be. And it's not that the movie did a terrible job addressing that. It didn't even try. Frankly, it would be wrong to even call this a dinosaur movie, because it's not one. This is a movie about locusts and cloning, and the dinosaurs just happen to be there. And that just shines a spotlight on the biggest problem at the root of all this jackassery. Dinosaurs aren't special anymore. The awe and wonder of dinosaurs, the terror and danger of dinosaurs, it's all gone. Which is 100% a problem of the franchise's own making. Somewhere along the way, the filmmakers got bored with dinosaurs, so they started introducing all this other stuff, this really fucking stupid stuff, and tried to make the movies about that instead. But once you've gone so far off base, you've gotten so far away from the core concept that you don't even know what you're doing now. At the core of the Jurassic franchise, there's always been this big underlying theme of, can humans and dinosaurs coexist? And realistically, the answer has always been no, but they can't give that answer because they like money too much. And for those first 5 minutes, it looks like they might finally, if not answer, then at least address that question in some kind of satisfying way after they've been putting it out there for 6 fucking movies, but then they proceed to do everything but that, and then at the very end, they're like, meh, whatever. F it. So that was the best you could do, huh? I'm not disappointed, because disappointment implies that I had expectations about it being good. We're well past that now. And after Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, not to mention how increasingly bad this franchise has been getting since the second fucking movie, I'd say Jurassic World Dominion was exactly the film I thought it would be. So yeah, it met my expectations, but if you think that's a good thing, then you haven't been paying attention. Any potential the setup might have had gets thrown out like yesterday's garbage. The legacy cast is back, but everything they get to do is stupid. The story keeps changing its mind over and over about what kind of story it wants to tell, and it took the dinosaurs, the one thing that should have been really special about this series above all else, and made them window dressing at worst and an ill-conceived plot device at best. Jurassic World Dominion is the worst thing to happen to dinosaurs since the Ice Age. And you know what? Hate on this all you want, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's time for the Jurassic franchise to go extinct. It just needs to end already. This series now has fewer good installments and more bad ones than the Terminator does, and it just keeps going. Something has to give eventually. We're 6 movies in now, and the first movie was the only one that was good. It was the only one that had a good script. It was the only one that really captured the magic of dinosaurs. All the other ones from JP2 up to now have been lowering the bar, and Dominion is just further proof that the Jurassic Park/World Series is continuing to go nowhere but down. This was the worst one yet! And holy shit, if they keep making more, which I'm sure they want to do, I think there's even worse to come. Fuck this movie. I'm out. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought about Jurassic World Dominion in the comments. While you're here, ding that bell icon and follow my social media so you can always be notified when I upload new stuff. I also have a live streaming channel. Links to everything are down there. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe, and make sure you're still subscribed, because what really deserves to be devoured by a swarm of genetically engineered locusts is the YouTube algorithm. That's all for now, but I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for that, do all the YouTube things, and I'll see you next time.